So we have finally passed the middle of 2025, and this year has been a massive travel year for myself, and I got to test out some brand new tech and daily drive some new ones to see what tech I will be using for 2025 into 2026. Now, I did post one of these last year, but since then a lot has actually changed, and for this one I will also only be including things I actually carry around with me daily. So no handheld consoles or anything like that, just the bare minimum. So to start this one off is the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Now, I've been rocking the S24 Ultra since the release last year, and it has been my daily driver ever since, but now I got to play around with the S25 Ultra to see if I feel the same way as I did about the S24 Ultra. Now, for full disclosure, I'm also using the brand new Fold 7, which is also actually really cool, but it isn't in my EDC just yet, even though I have been using it a lot since the announcement. Now, I have always been a massive fan of Samsung, and if you know me, then you know I am Team Samsung all the way when it comes to a lot of my tech, actually, like my TVs, smartphones, appliances, and really continuing my streak from the S3 has been great, especially just to see how these phones have evolved since I first started using Galaxy smartphones on the S3. Now, the reason I love the S25 Ultra is really because it fits my day-to-day really well. I use a lot of these smart home features from SmartThings, like seeing when my washer is done washing our clothes, or even starting a new load wherever we are, turning on and controlling my TV. And I actually use the AI features a lot more than I thought I would initially, from recording meetings and then transcribing them for summaries, all the way to sometimes using it to come up with social media captions for my videos, and then especially for asking Gemini sort of day-to-day questions as well, and setting reminders and calendar events as well. Now, the built-in Gemini AI features really are way more powerful compared to last year, and you really have this AI system that just travels with you, that you can ask questions, and honestly, it just works. Then it also has a lot of other great features which I use a lot, like the new Now bar and morning briefs, which definitely isn't for everyone, but I really like it. It just sort of gives me an overview of my day on one screen. The screen is also really nice and big. It looks amazing. The device itself looks good, and overall it is really just a killer smartphone. So I can't wait for more updates to roll out and sort of eventually spend more time with those as well. See where the S25 goes. Secondly are my earbuds, and these are the Samsung Buds 3, but I also use the Marshall Motif ANC 2s as well, especially when flying, as having ANC on flights is a must for me. But for day-to-day use, I actually like these in-ears that don't really seal a lot more because it doesn't add as much fatigue. So when I'm at the office and I still want to be able to hear everybody perfectly fine, then the Bud 3s are my go-to. I can leave them in for the entire day without any sort of fatigue in my ears. I can walk around and chat to people, and people can easily call me. They work really well for an office environment, and also just a chill at home vibe as well. But then for traveling, like I said, the Motif ANCs are my go-to. I love the ANC functionality as it allows me to drown out any sort of background noises. They sound really great, and they are extremely small, so I can literally just pop them in my bag, in my pocket, wherever I have a little bit of a space, I can just pop those in. Then the next item that is actually fairly new as well is my ring. So last year I wore my standard gold wedding ring, and then just after that video, Ultrahuman actually reached out and offered to send me a smart ring, which was something I mentioned I would really like to try out, and lo and behold, it has actually replaced my wedding ring as my sort of everyday wearing ring. Now, the one thing I really love about the Ultrahuman Ring Air is the fact that I can sleep with it and track my sleep without it feeling intrusive. I can get amazing insights on my health in general from the app, where they provide you with sort of weekly reports which feel way more in depth than anything any other device has ever provided me. And the battery lasts around 4 to 5 days, which is also just really nice, as you don't have to worry too much about charging this. For me, I just charge it every day while I'm showering and getting ready, and those sort of quick charges really just help keep it at around like 70-80% at all times. But I do oftentimes leave it until I get that 20% battery notification just to let it run a more full cycle. But for the most part, I just charge it every day or every second day as I sort of remember to do it, and then it just does the rest. Now I am also really thinking about replacing the Ultra Human Ring Air with the Samsung Galaxy Ring, and really the only reason for it is because it integrates really well with Samsung Health, and I really love the fact that everything is in one place, even though the insights of this is amazing. Now of course, by wearing a Galaxy Ring to track my sleep, I will be able to actually get insight on my Now briefs, and I can go to one app and get all of my insights, and it will just be one view instead of having to open up multiple different apps. But like I said, honestly, the Ultra Human Ring really is amazing. Now watch-wise, I'm actually rocking the Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra, and I picked this one up while I was in Abu Dhabi, as I've always wanted to try the Ultra for myself. Plus, honestly, once again, having the same ecosystem means everything just works better, and when tracking workouts and everything else, it all just sort of works. Now from using it over the last couple of months, the battery life has been good. I get around 2.5 days out of it, which isn't the best for like smartwatches. There's tons out there that does like 5+ days, but it is decent enough for my use case. Tracking workouts and walks are really easy, and having the functionalities like smart things to get alerts for when my washing is done. Once again, washing apparently is a massive thing in my life. And then of course being able to tap with my Samsung wallet, honestly for me, makes this watch worth it. But I am working on a full review for this watch, which should release in the next couple of weeks. Now I still can't let go of smartwatches, unfortunately, as I need to track my fitness for my medical age, which has a lot of benefits attached to it. Plus I've gotten so addicted to being able to see sort of notifications on my watch that I'm honestly struggling to completely switch over. So I know last year I said that I want a smart ring so I can stop wearing smart watches, because I'm really not a massive fan of how sort of smartwatches look. And honestly, I tried after getting my smart ring to get rid of a smartwatch, but it seems I still have some ways to go before I can completely get rid of my smartwatches. And thus for now, the Watch Ultra works sort of best for me. Next item is also something new, and this is this SSD, and why I love it is mainly because of its size, but then also the fact that it has a USB-C port and a USB-A port, which just really makes it super easy, regardless of the device that I have, to plug it in and use it. I also love that I don't need to carry any cables with me at all, and once again, because of that and the size, it really just makes it easy to carry with me daily and back up all of my content or transfer content if I need to, whether that is at home or while I'm traveling. And then the last item that isn't really tech related but is still part of my EDC is my wallet. Now in South Africa, you still have an ID and a driver's, and both of those are still physical cards, and I need to carry them with me always. So I just grabbed one of these magnetic wallets and a MagSafe case from my S25 Ultra, which has been able to sort of replace my entire wallet. This is the Native Union Classic wallet, which is made from recycled materials and is MagSafe compatible. It is also not made from real leather, even though it does have sort of this leather-like feel, and overall it does actually sort of work really nicely, and it is a really nice wallet. Now you can fit up to 3 cards in it, which for me is more than enough, as I mainly just have the 2 cards in there. And then if I need to, I might add my wife's ID in there while we're traveling. So really, 3 for me is more than enough. Now one thing I do have to mention, it is fairly difficult to sort of remove your cards, especially if you have 3 in there, which is good because your cards won't just fall out. But it's also easy enough to just sort of clip loose, and then you have this sort of hole here, and then you can use that sort of as more traction to get everything loose. So really, it isn't that difficult to get your cards out, but it's also not that easy, so you won't actually lose anything. Now one thing to also keep in mind is that it is a MagSafe wallet, so you would either need an iPhone, or in my case, you just need to get a case that has MagSafe capabilities, so you can actually plunk that on there for your Ultra device. And the lenses also kind of sort of get in the way. So my opinion would really be to sort of get something like this Bataka case or the D brand case, where the camera rings are flush. Otherwise it actually does protrude it out a little bit, and then this wallet doesn't actually work as great as it would on like an iPhone. Now for me, I've added all of my reward cards and banking cards to my Samsung wallet, which makes it easy to travel without a wallet. But then, like I said, I do still need some sort of a wallet for those other few cards, which I wish they would just accept digitally as well. But it is what it is. But that is it for my Tech EDC that I really sort of use and carry with me daily. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And then until next time, cheers.